Hi, I'm Wojciech, the founder and CEO of DataCX. Over the last few weeks, we've spent time speaking with leaders within marketing, performance, growth, retail, omnichannel commerce, and more to really understand the needs people have when it comes to mapping customer journeys and ultimately optimizing them. What I wanted to do today is walk you through 5 specific use cases when it comes to using our platform. The first is, how does our content affect conversions and revenue? Second, how do we maximize our average order value? Third and fourth, how do promo codes affect lifetime value? And how do promo codes affect refund rates? And finally, does customer satisfaction actually impact our revenue? Now, in each of these cases, we're simply using our journey canvas where you can very quickly and easily draw connections between specific steps and then run an analysis. Now, we've already pre-built the analysis itself so that we could simply walk you through the results themselves. So use case number 1, how does our content affect conversions and revenue? In this case, we've actually built 3 very simple journeys that simply look at different types of page views and content and the conversions to a first transaction. So in this case, we're looking at content that specifically has high-priced products. In this case, it's content that has low-priced products. And here, effectively, it's a control group, any and all content. What you see right off the bat is that the conversion rate for high-priced content is significantly higher, 52.84% than low-priced content at 33.66%. Not only do we generate a lot more revenue, $300,000 versus $140,000, but the actual pages here convert significantly faster. You could see here that on average, we have 2-hour wait between visiting these pages and transacting versus, in this case, it's a 16.5-hour wait. So right off the bat, content plays a pretty big role in conversions. In the second example, how do we maximize our average order value? We're looking at 2 different tactics. Suppose we're running a TikTok campaign and also making special offers. What we've done specifically here is built out both of these steps and then filter our transactions into 2 groups. In this case, looking at transactions that have less than $60 average order value. In this case, transactions that have a greater than $60 average order value. And of course, we could change these numbers as needed. Right off the bat, what we see is that the special offer here has a conversion rate of 24% roughly in both cases. There's no major difference. The TikTok campaign, on the other hand, is very different. 4% of people being sourced via TikTok transact at less than $60, whereas 14%, almost 15%, transact at over $60. That's a pretty big difference. What is also really interesting here is we added a second transaction to see what happens after the first transaction. What's really positive here is that in both cases, there's about a 35-36% conversion rate from the first transaction to the second one, which means that regardless of average order value, regardless of source of the transaction, the longer term transactions themselves, the loyalty actually is pretty consistent. So right off the bat, we can see that we might want to double down on the TikTok campaign, particularly if we haven't maxed out that campaign. But also, there's something to be said about special offers because they do still convert at a higher rate, regardless of transaction and average order value. Next, let's talk about use case number 3. How do promo codes affect lifetime value? In this case, we've built out 3 journeys. And in this scenario, we're assuming that there's a promotional code for a 5% off your first purchase, 10% off your first purchase, and 25% off your first purchase. So you could see that right off the bat, what we've done is we've included the promo code data, and we're looking to see how these things convert. And you could see that there's a pretty big difference, particularly from the first transaction to the second and then the third. At the 5%, we have about 35% people converting to the second transaction. Here we have about 38%. So while there's a slightly higher difference, really it's not a major difference. What's really surprising, however, is this 25% promo code. While more people take advantage of this, you could see 1,900 versus 1,600 in both of these cases, the conversion to a second transaction is actually significantly lower, almost half of the 10% promo code. So while more people are taking advantage of this promo code, the actual longer-term impact of the relationship with these customers is significantly lower. However, there's a silver lining here. When you actually go on to the third transactions, you could actually see that the conversion rates are similar across the board. What that's saying ultimately is that if you can keep these people that are using the 25% promo code over multiple transactions, they'll even out in the long run. That being said, I would make the argument that using a 10% promo code is probably the better bet here based on this data. Now, the other angle to this is looking at our refund rates. And in this case, I'm actually going to jump to the same type of screen as before, but we've added this refund event. And all we're simply saying here is, if people are using these promo codes, how does that impact the refund rates themselves? And this tells an even more bleak story when it comes to the 25% off transaction promo code. You could see that in both of these cases, transactions at promo code 5% and 10%, we have about a 1% refund rate. In the 25% promo code, however, it's 8%, significantly higher. So not only do we convert about half the customers compared to other promo codes here to secondary transactions or tertiary transactions, the refund rates are significantly higher. So case in point, you'd probably want to remove the 25% promo code or play around with the details of this campaign. Now, the final example here is, does customer satisfaction impact our revenue? Of course, we all want to make sure that our customers are satisfied and happy, but let's actually quantify what this specifically means. In this example, we've built another type of journey, page view to transaction, followed by, in this case, a survey, where in this specific scenario, our retailer is running a Net Promoter Score survey, and we're segmenting people into promoters, those that have given a 9 or 10 on the NPS survey, and detractors, people who have given 6 or less. What we're seeing here is also a bit of a concerning trend, right? After the first transaction takes place, 6.5% of people are promoters, 21.87% are detractors. The other piece here that we want to emphasize is what happens afterwards. And you could see that not only are detractors obviously bad because they're not promoting our brand, they're not promoting our site, but on top of that, only 19% of detractors, transact further, whereas 54.7% of promoters do. And so a really key part here is how do we ultimately drive more promoters, but what's wonderful is we could actually quantify now the impact on revenue and the impact on long-term loyalty that the Net Promoter Score survey and promoters versus detractors actually have. So these are some examples of the use cases that we can address via DataCX. Given the fact that you've been such a wonderful source of feedback and support, what we wanted to do is offer you the ability to join our customer advisory board. The idea behind our customer advisory board is, we ultimately want to build the best product out there when it comes to customer journeys and customer experience, particularly around B2C and D2C e-commerce and retail. If you join our customer advisory board, we'll give you free access to the platform, everything that you see here and anything else that we build into it. We'll work on integration and instrumenting your site or app as the case may be so that your data actually flows into the system. We'll take care of that as much as possible. And we'll work with you to build out reporting and analysis so that you're ultimately achieving your goals. The only thing that we're asking in return is that you sit down with us every 2 weeks and provide product feedback, either you or the people on your team that are using DataCX. The goal for us here, again, is to improve the product, make it as awesome as possible, and ultimately make sure that this product achieves the needs of marketing leaders like yourself. I'll follow up with you one-on-one in the coming days, but I wanted to share this video. Thank you for the time that you've taken so far, and I look forward to working with you. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day.